Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is brother Yair Radah. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Yahweh be in the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahushua be in the name of his beloved Son, who the world innocently calls Jesus. And we're going to go through a quick little breakdown, quick little topic on Peter's vision. Okay, what Peter saw in his vision and the breakdown of it, man. You got Christians that try to use it to justify being able to eat pork or not. You got people that use it to say that, oh, that means that anybody can make it, right? So let's go. We're going to get down to the bottom of it. And we're going to start right in Acts. We're going to start right in Acts chapter 10. And we're going to start at verse 9, man. And we're going to go through, we're going to break down Peter's vision through the Spirit. Okay. Salaki. Okay, so this is the book of Acts, chapter 10, and verse 9. It says, on the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh into the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry, and he would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance. Okay, so he on top of the housetop. He's praying. You feel me? He was hungry. They was whipping up the food down there. But while he was praying, he fell into a trance. Okay? The trance is not the same thing as passing out or falling out. You know, you got some preachers will tell you that they passed out. No, a trance is you just stuck, man. You stuck. Your eyes might be open. Trying to shake you, right? You not falling out of it. Okay, he fell into a trance, man, on top of the housetop. He just a trance. Okay, and nobody can break you from a trance from the Most High God, man. They can't. Hey, wake up. Nah, man, you gonna be in that trance. Okay, so Peter was in a trance on top of the housetop. Verse 11, it says, and saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down to the earth. So now when he's having this, when he's in this trance, he sees the heavens opened up, and he sees a knit with four corners on it. So this knit has four corners on it. Boom, 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 boom. And it's coming down and descended down into the earth. Now, what is that knit? What is that vessel that's coming down, right, unto the earth that Peter is seeing in this trance? Okay, let's deal with it. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 64, and it reads, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Okay, so that's being spread abroad. Okay, let's jump down to, let's go to verse 32 and 26. Okay. It says, I said I would, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 26. It says, I said I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Okay, so this knit, that's this vessel that's knitted at four corners is coming down, which is what Peter is seeing. He sees it and it has four corners. The Lord said he would scatter us among all people. The Lord said he would scatter us into corners. Okay, so we got scattered abroad amongst all people, and we got scattered into corners. Now, let's go deeper. Let's go to the book of Zechariah. Okay. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 2 and verse 6. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 2 and verse 6. It says, ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the earth, saith the Lord. Said, I have spread you abroad as the four. as the four winds of the earth, going into the corners of the earth, man. Being spread abroad, said as the four, right? Peter seeing this thing and this knit at the four corners, and we're spread abroad. Let's get one more. Let's go to the book of Matthew. I think I'm on Matthew chapter 24. Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 24. Okay. It's the book of Matthew chapter 24, and I want 31. It's the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 31. It says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So it's saying, guess what? They're going to gather them from the four winds of the earth. Okay, going into what? The four corners, meaning everywhere. Because why we scattered abroad as a people. Just like we read in Deuteronomy 28 and 64, just like we read in Deuteronomy 32 and 26, just like we read in Zechariah 2 and 6, it's all throughout the scriptures, man. Read it in the Old Testament, read it in the New Testament. We're scattered abroad amongst every nation, amongst all people. Okay, so that's what Peter's seeing right now. That's what Peter's seeing right now. All right, so let's read Acts chapter 10 and verse 11 again. It says, and saw heaven opened up, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners, and let down to the earth. Said, and it was let down unto the earth. Okay, now let's read on. It says, we're all mannered of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. So now he's saying, okay, look, I seen the net coming down and have four corners. Now at these four corners and throughout the midst of the vessel, it was all manner of four-footed beasts, fowls of the different animals, beasts, because all animals are beasts. Okay, so it's saying, look, I seen the four-footed beasts, the fowls of the air, and they on this sheet that's laid about with four corners. So let's find out what the beast is going into. Okay, let's go to the book of Psalms. Actually, let's go to Job 18 and verse 3. Let's go to the book of Job chapter 18 and verse 3. It's the book of Job chapter 18 and verse 3, and it reads, wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in your sight? So Job straight up said, hey, look, we're counted as beasts, man. We're counted as beasts and vile in your sight, man. Okay, let's get another one. Why? Because man, when man is going off, okay, when man's going off, guess what? He's counted as a beast. Anybody that's not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, or they going off, hey, you counted as a beast, man. Let's go to the book of Psalms chapter 73 and 22. This is the book of Psalms chapter 73 and verse 22. It says, so foolish was I, and ignorant I was as a beast before thee. So even David called himself a beast, man. He said, so foolish was I and ignorant, man. I was as a beast before thee. Why? Because the man that is not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, or a man that is going off, guess what? You're counted as a beast. Okay, let's get some more. Matter of fact, let's go to the Apocrypha. All right, let's go to the Apocrypha. Let's go to the book of 2 Esdras. Okay. Let's go to the book of 2 Esdras. I think I want chapter 2. Bear with me. 2 Esdras chapter 8. This is the book of 2 Esdras chapter 8 and verse 29. And it reads, This the book of It's the book of Second Esdras, chapter 8 and verse 29, and it reads, Let it not be thy will to destroy them which have lived like beasts, but to look upon them that have clearly taught thy law. So he said, look, I'm going to read that again. It says, let it not be thy will to destroy them which have lived like beasts. So a man can live like a beast, man. And that's not literally saying, oh, you going out and you living in the wilderness, right? You kind of using your toes and you putting it up there to scratch the back of your neck, the back of your ear and everything. No, it's just saying, hey, a man that's out here committing adultery, man, and don't know the law, hey, he's counted as a beast. A woman that's out here being a harlot, guess what? She's counted as a beast, man. She's counted as a beast. Guess what? The man that's out here hating his brother in his heart, guess what? He's counted as a beast. Okay? The woman that's out here that don't want to put on a dress and royal apparel and conduct herself as a daughter of Zion and as a daughter of the Most High God, but instead want to be a nigga woman, guess what? She's a beast. Okay? I'm going to read that one more time. It says, this is a Second Esdras chapter 8 and verse 29. It says, let it not be thy will to destroy them which have lived like beasts, but to look upon them that have clearly taught thy law. Okay? So let's go back to Acts chapter 10. This is Acts chapter 10, and I'm going to read verse 12 again. It says, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. So those beasts, fowls of the air, and creeping things is symbolic for Israelites not knowing who they are. Israelites who are uncircumcised. Israelites who don't know the law. Israelites that's not keeping the laws. Okay? But in this context, it's going into the ones that are uncircumcised. The Israelites that didn't know that they were Israelites. The Israelites that are during this time would be called basically uncircumcised. Okay, that's what it's going into. Reading on, it says, and there came a voice to him, Salakia, verse 13, and there came a voice to him, rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now while Peter doubted in himself that the vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate. So right when this happened, boom. So you had all this done. The angel saying, look, Peter, kill, slay, and eat. And he like, nah, I ain't never ate nothing uncommon or unclean. Okay, right now it's talking about food, but it's symbolic for dealing with the basically the Gentiles. Gentiles who are Israelite foreigners, Gentiles who don't know that they're Israelites, Gentiles that are not living by the law, statutes, and commandments because they don't know. They're Hellenized Jews. Okay, so and that's why after this, after the trans happened, after the vision happened, boom, you had Cornelius and his men popping up at the door. Okay, let's go to the next chapter real quick. Okay, let's go to the next chapter real quick because the same account is in chapter 11. This is Acts chapter 11 from the top, verse 1. It says, and the apostles and brethren that were in Judea heard that the Gentiles had also received the word of God. And then Peter was come up to Jerusalem. They that were of the circumcision contended with him, saying, thou wentest in to men uncircumcised and didst eat with them. But Peter rehearsed the matter from the beginning and expounded it by order unto them, saying, I was in the city of Joppa, and in the trance I saw a vision. A certain vessel descended as if it had been a great sheet let down from heaven by four corners, and it came even unto me. So they talking about circumcision, talking about, man, why you dealing with them uncircumcised people, man? They not with us. They uncircumcised. But Peter is telling them about a dream where an angel came unto him talking about kill, slay, and eat. So first of all, for you Christians, that ain't got nothing to do with eating pork. And even when the angel told him to eat 3 times, he still never ate. He never ate it. After the 3rd time, Peter was like, nah, all right, it stopped. So it don't got nothing to do with eating. And first of all, when you read Acts chapter 11, it's going into circumcision, man. So that has nothing to do with food. So just completely throw that out. Christians who try to use this don't know what's going on. And they don't read, because it's plain upon tables. Okay? Now, as far as Cornelius, okay? Cornelius was an uncircumcised Israelite. He was still an Israelite. All right, let's go back to chapter 10 real quick. Because Cornelius was an Israelite. He was of the Italian army, but he was an Israelite. He was an Israelite in the Italian army. That's why I said it was the centurion. That's what a centurion is. A centurion is basically like one of the leaders in the army, so to speak, if I'm correct, to put it in kind of better terms. Okay, so this is Acts chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius. First of all, Caesarea is in Israel. First of all, it's in Israel. It says, a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, a devout man, and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. So you're not gonna have a damn heathen doing something like this. A heathen's not gonna do things like this, man, especially during this time. He damn praying all the time. He giving alms. He's praying to the Most High God. That's not gonna happen with a heathen. Let's keep reading on though. It says he saw the vision. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, what is it, Lord? And he said unto him, thy prayers and thine alms have come up for a memorial before God. First of all, the Lord is not hearing the other nation prayers, man. The Lord is not hearing the prayers of the damn so-called white man. The Lord is not hearing the prayers of the damn Hamites who damn drink blood and play in goat blood all day. He's not hearing the prayers of the Edomites who damn drink baby blood all day, man, and sacrifice little kids and molest young women, young Eves, man. Lord's not hearing their prayers, man. Lord's not hearing the prayers of the damn Ammonites who got the damn dragon tail spirit, damn how to train a dragon. The Lord's not dealing with that, man. And the Lord is not sending an angel to talk and prophesy unto a heathen, man. All right, let's get this. Let's get this in the book of Hebrews. Okay. Let's get this in the book of Hebrews chapter 1. Okay, this is the book of Hebrews chapter 1 and verse, I'm going to start at 13. It says, but to which of the angels said he at any time, sit on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool? Verse 14, are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? And who are heirs to salvation, man? Who's the heirs of salvation, man? It's talking about the Israelites. Said, are they not all ministering spirits? Talking about the angels that's what? Sent forth to minister unto the heirs of salvation, man. To strengthen the Israelites, man. To be that hedge set around the Israelites to fight off these damn demons, man. So the angels is not being sent to heathen men to talk to them and prophesy to them, man. That's not going on. Hebrews 1 and 14 cuts that, man. So the Most High is not going to send an angel to a damn heathen, man. It's not going on. All right? And matter of fact, let's go to the book of Galatians real quick. Just to prove something real quick. This is the book of Galatians chapter 4 and verse, man, I'm gonna start at 28. This is the book of Galatians chapter 4 and verse 28. It says, now we brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of the promise, but as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit. Even so it is now. Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, which is going into Hagar and Ishmael. It said, cast out the bondwoman and her son. And it says, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. Going into Isaac, man. Which is ultimately going to Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob unto the 12 tribes of Israel. So those are who the heirs of salvation are, the Israelites. And in Hebrews 1 and 11, or Salakia 1 and 14 is telling you straight up plain upon tables that, look, hey, are they not sent to the minister unto those who are heirs unto salvation? And the heirs of salvation are who? The Israelites. Just like it tell you in Romans chapter 9. Okay. So Cornelius was an Israelite. Okay. Let's go to verse 4 and keep reading on. Verse 5, Salakia. This is the book of Acts chapter 10 and verse 5. It says, and now send men to Joppa and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter. He lodgeth with Simon a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants and a devout soldier of them, and waited on him continually. And when he had declared all these things unto him, he sent them to Joppa. Okay, so Cornelius was an Israelite. Okay, Cornelius was an Israelite, but he wasn't of the circumcision. So that's why in Acts chapter 11, they kind of getting on him. They kind of getting on Peter, man. Getting on Peter like, man, why you with these uncircumcised Israelites, man? Or these uncircumcised Gentiles, man? Not knowing that circumcision don't really mean nothing, man. Because you had people who were circumcised and wasn't keeping the damn law. But you had people who wasn't circumcised and they had faith, man. Man was keeping the law, right? Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians. I think I want 1 Corinthians 7. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 19. It says, circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of God. So circumcision don't mean nothing, man. And uncircumcision don't mean nothing. But it's about the keeping of the commandments and the faith. That's what it's about. It's about the faith, man, and the keeping of the commandments. So just because you got somebody that is circumcised, that don't just make them automatically holy. That don't mean that they gonna make it just because they circumcised. And just because you got a brother that's not circumcised, that don't mean that he not gonna make it. All right. Let's go to the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and 13. Okay. Let's go to the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 13. This is the book of Galatians 6 and 13. It says, for neither they themselves who are circumcised keep the law, but desire to have you circumcised, that they may glory in your flesh. You see that? It said, neither they that are circumcised keep the law, but they trying to have But they trying to have you circumcised so they can glory in their own flesh, so they can feel holier than thou, right? When whole time they circumcised, but damn wicked, man. Wicked as hell. So those men that was in Acts chapter 11 talking about, man, why you with them, the uncircumcised, man? Hey, they was going off because it wasn't about that, man. It just told you that in Acts chapter 10 that Cornelius was a devout man of the Most High and always gave alms, man, and prayers and supplications unto the Most High. It even tell you that he had a good report among the Jews, right? Let me get that real quick. It even said he had a good report among the Jews. Okay. Salakia, bear with me. Bear with me, Israel. Matter of fact, man, I'm gonna actually read this. It says, I'm gonna actually read this. This ain't what I wanted, but the Spirit. This is Acts chapter 10 and verse. I'm gonna start at verse 28. Actually, I'm gonna read verse 22. Salakia, bear with me, Israel. This is Acts chapter 10 and verse 22. It says, and they said, Cornelius, a centurion, a just man, and one that feareth God, and of good report among all the nation of the Jews, was warned from God by the holy angel to send for thee into his house and to hear the words of thee. And called he them in and lodged with them. And on the morrow, Peter went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him. So, hey, a damn angel was sent to him. The angels only ministers unto the ones that's heirs unto salvation, which are the Israelites. Not only that, it said he was a just man. Find me in the scriptures where it say that a heathen man was a just man, where an Edomite was a just man, or a Hamite was a just man, or a Canaanite or an Ishmaelite was a just man. You're not going to find it. Okay? But let's jump down to verse 28. This is Acts chapter 10 and verse 28. It says, and he said unto them, ye know how that it is unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or to come unto one of another nation, but Yahweh has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Therefore came I unto you without gainsaying. As soon as I was sent, I asked therefore, for what intent ye have sent me? And Cornelius said, 4 days ago. First of all, let me get this in Acts chapter 2. Let me get this in Acts chapter 2 first. Because he said that how it was unlawful for that. This is Acts chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, and there were dwelling in Jerusalem, at Jerusalem, Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. And when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because every man heard them speak in his own language. Okay, so you had devout Jews out of every nation under heaven. Then you got the Israelites who weren't necessarily considered Jews. Why? Because they didn't come from the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. So then, which makes up the southern kingdom. Then you got the northern kingdom, which is going into Israel. Okay, you read about the breaking apart of the two of the nation of Israel that was split apart from the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom in 1 Kings 11 and chapter 11 and chapter 12, and then you read about the makings of the different of the southern kingdom in 1 Chronicles 11 and 11, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that real quick. Okay. Second Chronicles. Come on. Second Chronicles 11 and 11. It's the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 11 and verse 11. And it says, and he fortified the strongholds and put captains in them and stored victuals and oils of wine. And in every several city he put shields and spears and made them exceedingly strong, having Judah and Benjamin on his side. And the priests and the Levites were in all Israel resorted to him out of all their coasts, for the Levites left their suburbs and their possession and came to Judah and Jerusalem, for Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off for executing the priest's office unto the Lord. So boom, Second Chronicles 11 and 11 on down to 14. Really, the whole chapter literally tells you how the southern kingdom was formed when it broke off from the northern kingdom, which is called Israel. Then you read about the northern kingdom being cast away in what? Hosea 1 and 9. Okay, not only Hosea 1 and 9 when the Lord cast them away, but also in Kings, right? When what happened? I think that's 2 Kings chapter 17. Salakia, not a spirit, just Salakia. Bear with me, Israel. All right, you got 2 Kings chapter 17. Come on, 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 3 on down, where it's telling you about how Salmanassar conquered the northern kingdom, Samaria, and then he took them over the waters and put them in slavery in Assyria. Right, the king of Assyria, which was King Salmanassar. Okay, during the time of Hosea the king. Okay, so Peter's vision, right, is going into what? It's going into the four nits that came down, symbolic of the Lord scattering the Israelites in the four corners and the four winds of the earth, because we're scattered abroad. We're everywhere throughout the earth. The four-footed, just like it tell you in Deuteronomy 28 and 64, Deuteronomy 32 and 26, Zechariah 2 and 6, Matthew, Matthew chapter 24 and 31. All those precepts telling you and signifying that it's symbolic for us being scattered abroad amongst all the earth in the four corners. Okay, not only that, boom, you got the beasts, the four-footed beasts, the fowls of the air. That's signifying what? That's talking about the Israelites that who are not of the circumcision, the Israelites who don't know that they're Israelites, the Israelites who are not considered Jews, but they're considered Gentiles. Why? They're considered Gentiles. Why? Because they went off, and the Lord had cast them away for a certain dispensation of time. Okay, going into that, you got Psalms 18 and 3. Okay, you got Psalms chapter what was that? 17 and 22. Psalms chapter 73. Psalms chapter 73 and 22. David said, "Hey, how foolish was I? I was as a beast before thee." Why? Because man is considered beasts when they're not walking in the light of the Lord, man. And that was the same way that these Hellenistic Jews were, these Hellenistic Israelites, the Israelites that didn't know no better, the Israelites that was ignorant and had to be taught. Okay, going into Cornelius, man, and Cornelius was an Israelite. Okay, he was an Israelite. Why? Because first of all, he lived in Israel, and he was in Caesarea, which is in Israel. Not only that, you had an angel that was sent unto him to warn him and to prophesy unto him. The Lord is not sending angels unto heathens to prophesy and warn them. Okay, the Lord, it tell you that in Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 14, that the ministering spirits are sent to minister unto the ones that are heirs unto the heirs unto salvation, paraphrasing. And those that are heirs unto salvation are the Israelites. Okay, so that's a breakdown on Peter's vision that he seen when he fell into a trance in Acts chapter 10. Lord willing, y'all was edified through the Spirit. Want to give a call, Halam, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. With that, Kwam Yasha Allah, Shalom.